So at this point, does anyone want to kind of like partake in this as far as like data dumping your mind, changing your thoughts or anything like that?
I mean, I have some, all right. I'll get real. I'll get real with everybody here. And,
Dim the lights.
And who's listening. I'll cut a slice of my soul for y'all and serve it up to you on a plate of depression.
My favorite.
Delicious.
Jeff looks very hungry.
I'm going to tell you the truth about something that happened to me a long time ago. Okay, when I had hit somebody on a bicycle when I was driving, and they died. And I feel like that changed me in a lot of ways moving forward in my life. And I think of the conversation we're having now, and I say to myself, should I go back, if I can go back and erase it or not, don't even remember it, that's why I was talking earlier about, I think it makes it what happens to you in your life makes you who you are. Because from that moment, I stopped doing a lot of things that I normally was doing, like just because I had a new perspective on like that life and death could be, out of nowhere instantly. I mean, even you wouldn't know when it would hit you. It could be at any time. Before I left the house, I was a big drinker back then. Not like an alcoholic, but I drank a lot back then. And before I left the house, I had a 6-pack of Heineken that I was putting away in the fridge. And I said to myself, I was like, maybe I should have one, because I didn't know I was leaving, and I didn't. And what ended up happening was when I was sitting in the back of the cop car after the accident, I didn't say that to the cop, but I was asking him if I was in trouble, because I was like crying in the back of this guy's car. And he was like, no. He's like, you're not in trouble. Accidents happen and blah, blah, blah. And he said, though, he's like, if you had a hint of alcohol on your breath, this would be a totally different story. And he didn't know about what, obviously, I did prior to leaving when I put the beer in the fridge. Yeah. And I just feel like that moment, to me, really made me want to tell everybody, like that's why I tell everybody when I hang up the phone that I love you, because you never know. And that totally changed my mentality on life. And I feel like if I were to erase that, I wonder if I would have turned into a dickhead and not have been so, affectionate and like, the way that I am now. I don't know, but that's something that people would be struggling with if this technology was real, because you say to yourself, how do you? Is it better to accept what happened and move forward and try to better your life and the people around you? Or is it better to just erase it and almost run from it? You know what I mean? Where you don't, is that like a coward's way out? Or are you trying to,
Well, I mean, I'll ask you, if it went the other way, would you want that erased?
Meaning what?
Have you ever thought about like erasing it from your mind?
Yeah, well, let's say like even if they did detect some sort of any hint of alcohol and it went the other way.
Oh, I would say yes.
You would want it erased.
Maybe. I don't know. I really don't know. I guess because I would just feel like the ultimate piece of shit for a long, long, long time. You know what I mean? I don't know how to answer that, to be honest with you.
Well, maybe it would be something like this. Let's say if for anyone, where an accident or on purpose or anything happens, or after time served, then it would become available to you. And while, let's say, you're serving time or going through something, then it's not. So in the aspect of, let's say, if you were convicted of something, it shouldn't be available to anyone that's currently convicted. Yeah. It would have to be after the fact, after the time served. So that could be part of it. Well, you served your time, so how do we reassimilate back into into your work life, and you could put like felon on an application or something like that, and they could do what they want with that. Sometimes they say, "Oh, we didn't hire you because you didn't have the skills," and it's clearly the other thing. So after time served, if that was erased and it doesn't have to be on an application anymore, I feel like that would help a lot more people out as well too.
Oh, definitely. I mean, some of the things that I changed after that was I just totally stopped drinking. I don't drink at all anymore. And, and what's scary is that I have drove drunk prior to that. Not like I couldn't see, but definitely buzzed, when I was drinking. And I just, like I said, it totally, when something like that happens to you, you're totally a different person afterwards. It's almost like I died, and now it's a different Vinnie that comes out of that. You know what I mean? So I don't know if anybody else listening has had something like that happen to them, or if any of you guys had something like that happen or whatever. But I just know that it's profound, and I feel like, again, I'm just going to bring it back to, I don't know if I would get rid of it, because would I have turned into a scumbag?
For the record, Vinny, I don't think you ever were a scumbag. You were always like, I'm obviously your younger cousin, but I always looked up to you, and you were always cool, and you were always nice, and you were always caring, and you were always giving. So I don't think that erasing that memory would have made you a scumbag. I just don't, obviously it was an accident. I'm sure, it was late, right, when it happened. It was.
No, it was during the day.
Oh,
well, Vin, to put it out there, so what? So obviously,
thank you, though.
Well, you said your story, and obviously you said you wouldn't want it to. You don't want that. Not that you don't want the circumstance to change. You would want to keep that memory because you feel it's who you are now.
Yeah, I feel like it
changed
molded me into.
So
who
maybe for someone else here or listening at home, and they're kind of thinking something maybe they do want to get rid of, but they're in the same boat as far as maybe they change them. What did you do to help you through that time?
I leaned on people that were close to me, to help me kind of get through it. And everybody, they throw jokes and, not jokes about it, but they try to make you laugh. In other words, in general, they try to take you out. They try to, kind of,
take your mind off.
Yeah, take your mind off of it. But ultimately, it's a demon you have to fight alone. You know what I mean? Because no matter what anybody else says or does, you have to accept what happened, and then you have to kind of move forward from that. And what I did almost, not almost, but 7 pounds-ish, I just felt like I was going to be a really good person to the people around me. You know what I mean? Wear my heart on my sleeve. If I care about you, I'm going to let you know and do whatever I can do to make you, feel that.
Pay it forward,
so,
right?
Yeah.
In a way,
you know
what I mean? In a way. And I just, but I know that this is crazy, but, if it wasn't for my friend Sean, who I spent a lot of time with back in the day of doing, watching crazy amounts of Seinfeld and having all the memories we had of sushi and everything, and really spending a lot of time with him, I think that it wouldn't have gone as easy, because he was something that I used to look forward to. We spent every day together when we were younger for a long time, and it was something I looked forward to when I was going through that time, because I know when I was hanging out with him, we were having fun and we were doing our thing. I didn't think about it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I never thanked him for that, but I don't even know if he knows, to be honest.
It's the people around you got you through it.
Yeah, yeah, especially him, but yes, definitely.
Okay.